All right, listeners, buckle up because today we're going deep into the world of cryptocurrency scams.
Yeah, we've got a mountain of research here.
And honestly, some of these schemes are so wild.
They're almost impressive.
Almost.
It's true. The potential crypto is huge, but that same potential makes it a magnet for scammers.
Right.
What gets me is how they tap into those deep human desires, you know, like striking it rich.
Yeah, or the fear of missing out.
Exactly. Even that need for connection.
Okay, but why is crypto so susceptible to scams in the first place? It's not like regular money is immune to fraud.
Well, think about it this way. Crypto is relatively new, and it's complex.
Right.
A lot of people are still trying to wrap their heads around it, making them, well, easy targets.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then you add in those massive price swings we've seen, and suddenly you've got people throwing caution to the wind, hoping to, become overnight millionaires.
Like the digital gold rush, but with code instead of pickaxes. And didn't you say there's also that anonymity factor that comes into play?
You got it. While it's not completely anonymous, the pseudonymous nature of crypto transactions offers a level of privacy that can be exploited.
So it makes it harder to trace the scammers and recover funds.
Exactly. Adds another layer of complexity to the problem.
So it's not just about knowing the scams, it's about understanding the systems that make them possible in the first place.
Precisely. You need to be able to critically evaluate the technology, the projects, and the people involved. Think of it like developing a crypto radar for spotting danger.
Okay, sign me up for that radar training. Let's start with those classic scams that have kind of found a new home in the crypto world.
Sure.
Ponzi schemes, for example, those never seem to go out of style, do they?
Sadly not. They've just gotten a digital makeover. So instead of promising returns on real estate or, traditional investments, they're now dangling these ridiculously high returns on obscure tokens or coins, often using the complexity of crypto to mask their operations.
But it's the same old rob Peter to pay Paul routine, right? Just dressed up in fancier clothes.
Exactly. They use funds from new investors to pay off the older ones, creating this illusion of profit and hyping up the token, which of course attracts more victims. The source material actually mentions BitPetite, which is, well, a prime example of this.
Right.
They were promising investors these unrealistically high returns, but eventually the whole thing collapsed, just like history has shown us time and time again.
It's like clockwork. So if someone is guaranteeing you crazy returns, that's a major red flag.
Absolutely.
No matter how convincing they sound.
A guaranteed return, especially a high one, is almost always a sign of a scam.
Okay.
Legitimate investments always carry some level of risk.
Yeah. High guaranteed returns equal danger.
What about these initial coin offerings, or ICOs? They seem like a prime target for scammers as well. You're absolutely right. Legitimate ICOs can be a way for promising new crypto projects to raise funds, but scammers exploit the excitement around, these new projects to lure in unsuspecting investors.
So they're kind of like, they're building this facade of legitimacy to try and lure people in.
Precisely. And they can be really good at it. The Centra Tech case mentioned in the source material is a perfect example. They managed to raise millions of dollars, even roping in celebrities for promotion before it all came crashing down when it was exposed as a total sham.
Okay, so that's a good reminder to never just blindly trust hype, especially in the crypto world. But for someone who's not a, tech expert, how can they actually evaluate the legitimacy of a project?
It's a great question, and it really gets to the heart of protecting yourself. First, go beyond the surface. Don't be swayed by fancy websites or big-name endorsements. Dig into that white paper, but don't just skim it. Look for clear explanations of the technology, the team's experience, and how the token actually functions within the project.
So it's not about understanding every single technical detail. It's about getting a sense of whether the project makes sense overall and whether the team seems, credible.
Exactly. And remember, the crypto community can be a valuable resource here.
Oh, okay.
If you're unsure about a project, don't be afraid to ask questions in online forums or groups. Chances are someone else has already looked into it or can offer some insights.
Okay, community wisdom. Check.
Mm-hmm.
But even if you understand the project, there are still those classic scams like phishing that can trip anyone up.
Oh, absolutely. Phishing is a constant threat. And in the crypto world, the stakes are even higher. I mean, losing your private keys is like losing access to your entire vault.
Oof, yeah.
And scammers use familiar tactics like fake emails or messages that look like they're from legitimate exchanges like, Binance or Coinbase.
So you click the link thinking you're just, updating your account, and boom, they've got your login details.
Exactly. And they're getting increasingly sophisticated. We're seeing highly targeted attacks now that exploit specific vulnerabilities in the way people interact with crypto platforms.
So what's the best defense against these phishing attacks? Is it just about being like hyper vigilant about every link we click?
Vigilance is key, but there are other things you can do. First, always double check that URL before clicking anything.
Okay.
Like hover over the link to see where it's actually taking you. And be wary of any unsolicited messages or emails, even if they appear to be from a trusted source.
Okay, so treat any unexpected crypto-related message with extreme caution.
Yeah.
What else can we do to protect ourselves?
Enable two-factor authentication, or 2FA, on all your accounts.
Right.
This adds another layer of security by requiring, a second form of verification, like a code from your phone, even if someone manages to get your password.
So it's like having a double lock on your digital vault.
Exactly. It makes it much harder for those scammers to access your accounts. And remember, legitimate platforms will never ask you for your private keys. If anyone asks for them, that's a massive red flag.
Noted. Protect those private keys like they're the crown jewels. Now onto a scam that's uniquely crypto, the rug pull.
Uh-huh.
It sounds kind of dramatic.
It is. Imagine you're standing on a rug and suddenly someone yanks it out from under you.
Okay.
That's essentially what happens in a rug pull. Developers create a token, generate hype, attract investors, and then when the price peaks, they just vanish, taking all the funds and leaving investors with, well, worthless tokens.
So it's like they're setting up this whole elaborate performance just to disappear with everyone's money in the end.
Precisely. And the source material actually mentions the Squid Game token, which, capitalized on the popularity of that Netflix show.
Oh, yeah.
It generated massive hype, attracted tons of investors, but it turned out to be a classic rug pull. The creators vanished, and investors were left with a token that quickly plummeted in value.
Oh, wow. So that's a good reminder that even when something is, tied to a familiar name or a brand, you still need to be super cautious.
Definitely.
But how do you actually spot a rug pull before it happens?
Well, one thing to look at is the token's liquidity.
Okay.
Rug pulls often involve tokens with this artificially inflated liquidity, which makes it easier for the creators to cash out quickly. You can use tools, like on decentralized exchanges, to check a token's liquidity and trading volume.
So we need to be looking under the hood, so to speak, to see how that token is actually functioning.
Exactly. And be wary of projects with, anonymous or unverifiable teams. If you can't find information about the people behind the project, or if their credentials seem dubious, that's a major red flag.
Okay. Anonymous teams equal danger. Makes sense.
Yeah.
It seems like rug pulls also rely on that hype and FOMO, that fear of missing out, to drive investment.
Absolutely. Scammers will often create a sense of urgency or scarcity, pushing people to invest quickly without doing their due diligence. They might claim there's a limited time offer or that the price is about to skyrocket.
It's like those limited time only sales tactics, but in the crypto world.
Exactly.
So how do we avoid getting swept up in all that hype? It's easy to get, caught up in the excitement,
It is. But remember, legitimate projects don't require you to make a snap decision. Take your time, do your research, and don't let FOMO cloud your judgment. If something feels rushed or pressured, that's a sign to step back and reevaluate.
Okay, resist the urge to FOMO. Solid advice. Now, let's talk about fake wallets and exchanges. It's scary to think that even the platforms where we're storing our crypto could be compromised.
It is a concern. It highlights the importance of choosing, reputable platforms and understanding the difference between custodial and non-custodial wallets.
Okay, remind me about the difference again.
Sure. Custodial wallets are controlled by a third party, like an exchange, while non-custodial wallets give you direct control over your private keys.
So with custodial wallets, you're trusting the platform to keep your crypto safe.
Mm-hmm.
And with non-custodial wallets, you're responsible for your own security.
Exactly. Both have their pros and cons. Custodial wallets can be more user-friendly, but they also rely on the security of that third-party platform. Non-custodial wallets give you more control, but they also require you to be more responsible for your own security.
Right. And the source material mentions MyCoin, which turned out to be a fake exchange. What happened there?
MyCoin was a classic example of a fake platform that was designed to steal users' funds. They lured users with promises of high returns and, a user-friendly interface, but the whole thing was a sham. The website disappeared overnight, taking millions of dollars in user funds with it.
So it's like a bank disappearing into thin air, except it's happening in the digital world. How do we avoid falling victim to these fake platforms?
The best defense is to stick to well-known, reputable exchanges and wallets that have, a proven track record of security. Do your research, read reviews, and look for platforms that prioritize security measures like two-factor authentication and cold storage.
Okay, so research and reputation are key. But what about those times when we need to actually move our crypto around, like when we're buying, selling, or transferring it? Are there any specific safety tips for those transactions?
Always, always double-check that recipient's address before sending any crypto. Even a single typo can mean sending your crypto to the wrong address, and then those funds are likely lost forever.
Oh, wow. So it's like sending a package to the wrong address. It's gone.
Exactly. And be wary of unsolicited offers or requests. If someone contacts you out of the blue with a crypto investment opportunity or asks you to send them crypto, be extremely cautious.
So basically, treat any unsolicited crypto offers with the same suspicion as those spam calls we all get.
Precisely. Trust your instincts, and if something feels off, it's always best to err on the side of caution.
Great advice. It feels like we're building a pretty solid arsenal of knowledge here. But I know we've only scratched the surface of the crypto scams out there. What else do we need to be aware of?
Well, we talked about the importance of protecting your private keys, but there are other scams that target those seeking, passive income through mining or staking.
Right.
Scammers create fake platforms, promising high returns, but just like with fake wallets, once you send your crypto, it's gone.
So it's like they're always trying to exploit that desire for easy money, whether it's through quick returns or passive income.
Exactly. And the Plus token scam, mentioned in the research, highlights how large-scale these operations can be. They defrauded users of billions of dollars by promising high returns from crypto mining and staking.
Billions. That's insane.
Yeah.
It seems like they're always finding new ways to exploit vulnerabilities.
Unfortunately, yeah.
But how can we protect ourselves from these fake mining and staking platforms?
Again, research is key. Look for platforms with transparent operations, verifiable track records, and clear explanations of their mining or staking processes. If something seems too good to be true, or if you can't find information about the platform's legitimacy, it's best to steer clear.
Okay, so apply that same critical thinking to every aspect of the crypto world, whether it's a new token, an exchange, or a mining platform.
Exactly. Don't let the complexity intimidate you. The more you understand about how these systems work, the better equipped you'll be to spot red flags and protect yourself.
Well, it's definitely a lot to take in, but I'm starting to feel like I'm developing that crypto radar you mentioned.
Good.
But before we get too confident, let's talk about a category of scams that hits a little closer to home: impersonation and romance scams.
Oh yeah, these are particularly insidious because they exploit people's desire for connection and trust. Scammers create fake profiles, often on dating apps or social media, pretending to be someone they're not.
Right.
And they target individuals who are lonely or vulnerable, build a relationship, and then, when the time is right, they'll introduce a crypto investment opportunity.
So it's like they're weaving this whole elaborate web of deception, preying on people's emotions. That's awful.
It is. They might claim they've, discovered a hot new token, or they might play on their victim's sympathy, asking for help with a crypto investment.
Oh, wow.
Their goal is to gain trust and then exploit it for financial gain.
It's scary to think that people are using crypto as a tool for a manipulation like this, but how can we protect ourselves from that? Because it seems like these scams are harder to spot. They're based on emotional connections.
You're right. It can be much harder to be objective when you're emotionally involved. But there are red flags to watch out for. Be cautious of anyone who, comes on too strong or tries to rush the relationship. Be wary of inconsistencies in their stories, or if they're reluctant to share, personal details.
So if something feels off or too good to be true, it probably is, even if you have feelings for the person.
Exactly. Trust your instincts, and if something feels wrong, don't be afraid to ask questions, do some digging, or even walk away. Your emotional well-being and your financial security are paramount.
Okay, wise words. Trust your gut and remember that scammers are masters of manipulation, both online and offline. But with all these scams lurking around every corner, it's easy to feel overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Are there any general red flags we can watch out for that kind of apply across the board?
There are. And recognizing these red flags can be crucial. One of the most obvious is the promise of guaranteed returns.
Right.
If a project or an individual guarantees you a specific return on your investment, that's a major warning sign. Remember, legitimate investments always carry some level of risk.
So no matter how convincing they sound, guaranteed returns are a big no-no.
Absolutely. Another red flag is a lack of transparency.
Yeah.
Legitimate projects will have clear, well-written white papers that explain the technology, the team, and the tokenomics in detail. If a project is secretive about its operations, or if its white paper is vague or confusing, that's a sign to be cautious.
So dig deep, read carefully, and don't be afraid to ask questions if something isn't clear.
Exactly. And pay attention to the team behind the project. A legitimate project will have a transparent team with, verifiable backgrounds and experience. If a project is secretive about its team, or if the team members have dubious credentials, that's a major red flag.
So we're checking the project, the white paper, and the team. What else should we be on the lookout for?
Be wary of unrealistic promises. If something sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
Right. Okay.
If a project is promising these astronomical returns with little or no risk, that's a major red flag. Remember, there's no such thing as a free lunch, especially in the crypto world.
And I imagine scammers often use those high-pressure tactics to try to get people to act quickly without really thinking things through.
Absolutely. They might claim that there's a limited time offer or that the price is about to skyrocket,
Right.
creating that sense of urgency and FOMO we talked about earlier. But remember, legitimate investments don't require you to make a snap decision.
So take your time, do your research, and don't let anyone pressure you into making a decision you're not comfortable with. All great advice. But it seems like avoiding scams is also about having the right tools and strategies in place. So what can we do to kind of proactively protect ourselves?
One of the most important things you can do is use a reputable hardware wallet to store your crypto offline. It's like having a digital safe deposit box for your assets.
Okay, hardware wallets are on the list. But what about those times when we need to actually interact with the crypto world online? How do we stay safe when we're buying, selling, or transferring crypto?
One key strategy is to use strong, unique passwords for all your crypto accounts. Don't reuse passwords across multiple platforms, and consider using a password manager to help you generate and store strong passwords securely.
So no more password 123.
Definitely not. A strong password should be at least 12 characters long and include a mix of upper and lowercase letters, numbers, and symbols.
Got it. Strong and unique passwords are essential. But it seems like staying safe in the crypto world is an ongoing process. It's not just about setting things up once and then forgetting about it.
You're absolutely right. Staying informed is crucial. The crypto landscape is constantly evolving, and new scams are emerging all the time. Make it a habit to stay up to date on the latest security threats and best practices.
So where do we go to find that reliable information?
Well, reputable crypto news websites, blogs, and online forums are all great resources. And don't underestimate the power of community.
Okay.
Join social media groups dedicated to cryptocurrency security. These communities can be invaluable sources of information and support.
It's like having a network of crypto security experts at your fingertips.
Exactly. And if you come across a project or investment opportunity that seems questionable, don't hesitate to ask for feedback from those communities. Chances are someone else has already encountered it or knows something about it.
That's a great tip. It's like having a crypto safety net.
Precisely. And remember, the more you learn about crypto and the risks involved, the better equipped you'll be to protect yourself.
Okay, so we've built up our crypto radar.
Yeah.
And stocked our security toolkit. But I have a feeling this isn't a set it and forget it kind of situation, right?
You're absolutely right. The crypto landscape is constantly changing.
Right.
New scams are popping up all the time.
Yeah.
And even the old ones get tweaked. So staying informed it's an ongoing process.
All right, so no resting on our laurels. But how do we keep up with all of this? It feels like drinking from a fire hose sometimes.
It can be overwhelming, but there's some great resources out there.
Okay.
Reputable crypto news websites and blogs are a good place to start.
Yeah.
They often have articles that analyze the latest scams and security trends.
So we should be checking those regularly. Any favorites you recommend?
Yeah, definitely. And, don't underestimate the power of the crypto community itself.
Oh.
Online forums and social media groups dedicated to security can be invaluable.
Yeah.
They're like having a network of experts right at your fingertips.
It's like a crowdsourced security system. I liked that. So if I see a project that kind of sets off my crypto radar, I can bounce it off the community and get a second opinion.
Exactly. Chances are someone else has already looked into it or can offer some insights.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised how much collective knowledge is out there.
Okay, community wisdom. Noted.
Hmm.
Now let's talk about securing our digital assets.
Sure.
We've touched on private keys and hardware wallets, but what other layers of protection can we add?
One of the simplest yet most effective measures is enabling two-factor authentication,
Right.
or 2FA.
Right.
On all your accounts, it adds an extra layer of security by requiring a second form of verification, like a code from your phone,
Right. Right.
even if someone gets your password.
So even if someone gets my password, they still need that second factor to get in. It's like that extra lock on your front door.
Precisely. And it makes a huge difference in preventing unauthorized access.
Mhm.
There are various 2FA methods like SMS-based codes, authenticator apps, and even hardware security keys.
So we should explore those options and see what kind of fits our needs and our comfort level.
Exactly. Another important step is to keep all your software up to date.
Okay.
That means your operating system, your web browser, and any crypto-related apps or programs that you use.
So those pesky update reminders, they're actually important.
They are. Those updates often include security patches that protect you from known vulnerabilities.
Right.
Ignoring them is like leaving your front door wide open.
Okay, noted. No more ignoring those updates. Now let's talk about diversification. We hear that a lot in, traditional investing, but does it apply to crypto as well?
Absolutely. Just like you wouldn't put all your eggs in one basket in the stock market, you shouldn't put all your crypto into a single asset. Diversifying across multiple cryptocurrencies can help to mitigate risk.
So if one investment goes south, you're not losing everything.
Exactly. Diversification helps spread the risk. It's a fundamental principle of sound investing, whether it's stocks, bonds, or crypto.
Makes sense. Okay, we've got diversification down. What about this cold storage thing I keep hearing about? Is that something we should be considering?
Cold storage is essentially keeping your crypto offline. It's like having a safe deposit box for your digital assets.
Right.
It's considered the most secure way to store large amounts of cryptocurrency because it's inaccessible to hackers.
So we're talking hardware wallets again.
Hardware wallets are the most common form of cold storage.
Okay.
They're physical devices that store your private keys offline, adding an extra layer of protection.
So for those holding, a significant amount of crypto, a hardware wallet is a must-have. It's highly recommended. If you're serious about security, it's worth the investment.
Got it. Hardware wallets it is. Now, I know this might seem basic, but what about passwords? Are we still harping on those in the crypto age?
Absolutely. Strong, unique passwords are the foundation of good security. Create a different one for each of your crypto accounts and avoid using the same password across multiple platforms.
So password 123 is officially out.
Definitely. A strong password should be at least 12 characters long and include a mix of upper and lowercase letters, numbers, and symbols.
Okay, so complex and unique passwords for everything. But how do you keep track of all that? My brain can only handle so much.
That's where password managers come in.
Oh, okay.
They generate and store strong passwords securely so you don't have to remember them all. It's a lifesaver, and it significantly enhances your security.
Password manager downloaded. Now, let's talk about those moments when we're actually interacting with the crypto world. Buying, selling, transferring. Are there any specific safety tips for those transactions? Always double-check the recipient's address before sending any crypto. A single typo can mean sending your crypto to the wrong address, and those funds are likely lost forever.
Yeah, it's like sending a letter to the wrong address. Poof, it's gone.
Exactly. And be wary of unsolicited offers or requests. If someone contacts you out of the blue with a crypto investment opportunity or asks you to send them crypto, be extremely cautious.
So treat those with the same suspicion as those spam calls that we all get. If it sounds fishy, it probably is.
Precisely. Trust your instincts, and if something feels off, it's best to err on the side of caution.
Got it. So we've talked about staying informed, securing our assets, and being cautious with transactions. But let's face it, the crypto world can feel pretty overwhelming, especially for newcomers.
It can be, but don't let the complexity or, the fear of scams deter you from exploring the possibilities. Cryptocurrency it's a powerful technology with the potential to revolutionize many aspects of our lives.
So it's about finding that balance between caution and exploration.
Exactly. By arming yourself with knowledge, staying informed, and taking the necessary precautions, you can navigate the crypto world safely and confidently.
Okay, I'm feeling more confident already, but I have to ask, what happens if if despite our best efforts, we do fall victim to a scam, what steps should we take?
It's crucial to act quickly and report the scam to the appropriate authorities.
Okay.
In the United States, you can report crypto scams to the Commodity Futures Trading Commission,
Mm-hmm.
the CFTC,
Okay.
the Federal Trade Commission, the FTC, or the Securities and Exchange Commission, the SEC.
And are there international equivalents?
Many countries have similar regulatory bodies.
Okay.
It's worth researching the specific agency responsible for handling crypto scams in your country.
So we reported to the authorities, but what about the platform where the scam occurred?
If the scam took place on an exchange or platform, immediately report it to their support team. They may be able to take action to prevent further victims or even help recover your funds.
So it's important to notify both the authorities and the platform involved.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And consider filing a complaint with consumer protection agencies.
Okay.
The more information you provide, the better equipped they'll be to address the issue and potentially help you recover your losses.
This is all incredibly helpful information. Thank you for breaking it down for us. It feels like we've really gone deep into the trenches of crypto scams, exposing their tactics and learning how to protect ourselves.
It's been my pleasure. Remember, knowledge is power.
Yeah.
The more you understand about these scams, the better prepared you'll be to navigate the crypto world safely.
Well said. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here, from understanding the red flags to implementing protective measures, but let's shift gears for a moment and talk about the future of crypto security. With all these scams and the ever evolving nature of this technology, what does the road ahead look like?
That's a question that is on a lot of people's minds right now.
Yeah.
It's a dynamic landscape
Right.
shaped by technological advancements, regulatory developments, and of course the constant cat and mouse game between innovators and scammers.
So it's like a never-ending arms race.
In many ways, yes.
Yeah.
As security measures improve, scammers, they adapt.
Right.
They find new ways to exploit vulnerabilities. But on the flip side, we're also seeing incredible advancements in security technology.
Okay, that's reassuring. What are some of the most promising developments kind of on the horizon?
One area that's generating a lot of excitement is the development of, more robust and user-friendly security tools.
Okay.
For example, we're seeing advancements in hardware wallets, multi-signature wallets, and other technologies that are designed to make it much harder for scammers to gain access to your crypto.
So those tools will become more accessible and easier for everyday users to adopt.
That's the goal. The more people who use these tools, the more secure the overall crypto ecosystem becomes. It's a collective effort.
Right. It's like herd immunity for crypto.
Exactly.
The more people who are protected, the harder it is for the scams to spread.
Exactly. And alongside those advancements, we're also seeing this growing awareness of the importance of education.
Right.
More and more resources are becoming available to help people understand crypto, how it works, and the risks involved.
So it's not just about building better tools and regulations. It's about building a more informed and savvy user base.
Precisely. Education is a crucial component of creating a safer and more secure crypto ecosystem.
All right, we're back. And I gotta say, my crypto radar is definitely more finely tuned after all that. But with all these scams and the constant evolution of the crypto world, where do we go from here? What does the future hold for crypto security?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Mhm.
It's a landscape that's constantly shifting, as technology advances, regulations change, and of course, scammers try and stay one step ahead.
So is it all just this, hopeless arms race with no real end in sight?
Not necessarily.
Yeah.
While it's true there will always be new challenges, the future of crypto security isn't all doom and gloom. There's a lot of exciting progress happening too.
Okay, give me some good news. What are some of the things that make you optimistic about the future of crypto security?
Well, one of the most promising areas is the development of more robust and user-friendly security tools. Like we're seeing incredible innovation in things like hardware wallets, multi-signature wallets, and other technologies that are designed to make it much harder for scammers to gain access to your crypto.
So those tools will become more accessible and easier for everyday users to adopt. That would be a game changer.
Absolutely. That's the goal. The more people who use these tools, the more secure the overall crypto ecosystem becomes. It's a collective effort.
Right. It's like herd immunity for crypto.
Exactly.
The more people who are protected, the harder it is for the scams to spread.
Exactly. And alongside those advancements, we're also seeing a growing awareness of the importance of education.
Right.
More and more resources are becoming available to help people understand crypto, how it works and the risks involved.
So it's not just about building better tools and regulations. It's about building a more informed and empowered user base.
Precisely. Education is absolutely key. The more people who understand the technology, the less susceptible they'll be to scams.
Yeah.
And that brings us to another important factor shaping the future of crypto security: regulation.
Right. That's been a hot topic lately. What role do you see regulation playing in making crypto safer?
It's complex, no doubt. There are a lot of different perspectives on the best approach to regulation, but I think most people agree that clearer regulatory frameworks could help to mitigate some of the risks we've been talking about.
So it's about bringing some order to the wild west of crypto, like establishing some rules of the road.
Exactly. Clearer regulations could help to level the playing field, make it more difficult for scammers to operate,
Yeah.
and create a more secure environment for everyone.
That makes sense. But even with better tools, more education and clearer regulations, it feels like staying safe in crypto is ultimately a personal responsibility.
You're absolutely right. At the end of the day, it comes down to each individual, taking ownership of their security, being informed, being cautious, and being proactive.
So this is where our crypto radar really comes into play. We have to be vigilant, ask questions, and never stop learning.
Exactly. And remember, there's a whole community out there to support you. Don't be afraid to reach out, ask questions and learn from each other's experiences.
Well, I have to say, after this deep dive into the world of crypto scams, I'm feeling a mix of caution and excitement. It's a wild world out there, but armed with the knowledge we've gained today, I'm feeling more confident than ever about navigating it safely.
That's great to hear. Remember, knowledge is power. The more you understand about the risks and how to protect yourself, the more you can enjoy the incredible potential of cryptocurrency.
Well said. And on that note, we've reached the end of our deep dive into crypto scams. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey. We hope you found it informative and empowering. Remember, stay vigilant, stay curious, and as always, happy diving.